What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another video on offshore destinations. Today we are back on the property. What was that, Bailey? You're just happy. You happy? You happy? Anyway, back with another video on the property. Today it's the end of September. I think October 1st is tomorrow. The leaves are starting to change in the woods. We live literally in the middle of the forest. We have trees on every single side. So it's starting to get really pretty up here, but there's a few things we need to do before winter. We need to stack a bunch of firewood because we have a wood burning fireplace. Everything's already cut and split and everything. I have a pretty big thing stacked right there of firewood. I'll kind of dub in some videos from that. We're not gonna make a video on that, but Brooks had a lot of fun helping stack firewood, and we'll kind of talk.
I got this bigger one.
Yeah.
Cut this up.
Yeah. Slide her down. Yep, give it a go push. Good job. Nux. You want to do another one? Good job.
Oh, this one.
Is that a big one?
Yep, I got it one. That's bigger. Next time. Next time. Next time. Next time. I'll fix this stick to Bailey.
Yeah. Good job.
I got this one.
Look at you go. Throw it in. Good job. But today we're working on a kind of a project that will eventually turn into kind of a self-sufficient or self-sustaining part of this property. But for this year, we're just fixing an eyesore. I'll flip the camera around and I'll kind of show you. So this is a little garden shed. I'm pretty sure it's kind of like homemade because it's sitting on railroad ties. And it's just like OSB on the sides. But it's an eyesore. I mean, the paint's literally chipping just from me pulling on it. Pulls right off. I'm pretty sure it's some crappy latex paint with a really ugly dog kennel on the front. But we are going to be turning this into a chicken coop. I have some paint. We're going with a red and white look to kind of be like a mini barn per se. And then we're going to take out all this kind of weeds and foliage back here, put a new hole in the side for a chicken run, and then we're going to do the run out here. And then I'm going to build another wall inside. Or not a wall, but somewhere we can walk in and store stuff, and then we can also put nests and everything on the back door. So the goal today is to get this painted. We're going to be scraping it down. I have red barn paint from Menards, so we're going to do all the light color is going to be all red, and all the dark stuff is all going to be white. And then we also need to clean all the pine needles off the shingles to make sure they stay good. I'm not sure if we're going to use this fence and reuse it, or if I'm just going to rip this off, sell it, and build my own chicken run on the side over here. But we'll kind of get there when we get there. I have no idea how old this building is, but that's what we're going to turn it into. So that's what we're doing today. So I'm trying to figure out the best way to take off all that chipping latex paint. I tried a random orbital sander that I have, and it didn't really do a whole lot. I also tried a scraper, and that was working, but it was also kind of a pain. So we're gonna step it up a notch and try a belt sander. But once it starts, whenever I figure out what's gonna work for this, I'll set you guys up in a time lapse, and that'll be the best way for me to video because it's just me out here. So I wouldn't necessarily say this is the best tool for the job, but it is working. So I'm gonna probably set you guys up in a time lapse, and I'm gonna hit these walls quick, and then we'll paint. I got really thick like barn paint, so it should cover this well. But yeah, let's try that. So I found that the sander works okay to kind of lift the big flakes, and then honestly, the grill scraper works pretty well to get it off. I've gotten a lot of the big stuff off for the most part, and I have pretty thick paint, so it'll definitely help cover it. But I'm sick of scraping, so we still have one more side to do, because I'm not gonna do the back side because I don't really care, no one ever sees it. But all of this greenery here needs to go, so I'm gonna grab some tools and start cutting some of that stuff out, because frankly I'm just sick of scraping and sanding. So we're gonna switch it up a little bit. So between snippers and a weed whacker, we cleared this out. It was mostly like thorn bushes and baby popple trees and stuff like that. So there's a few like roots in here or there, but I'm not horribly concerned about it. I mean, they're just chickens. This wall looks like it's in a lot better shape than the other ones in terms of like the paint chipping, so which is good, less I have to do. We're gonna have to cover that with something. I haven't exactly figured out what we're gonna do that with to keep the chickens from going underneath there, but I need to get this moved out of here. It's still staked down and everything, so we can throw a coat of paint on it quick, and then we'll kind of go from there. Pretty much just picked off all the paint chips by hand, all laying on the ground, but this side really wasn't that bad, probably because it was more shaded and the sun didn't get to it. I'm gonna take a leaf blower, blow all the dust off best I can, and then honestly, it's probably ready for paint. We're gonna get rolling on paint. For anyone curious, we're using the Dutch Boy barn and fence paint. It is a latex paint, so hopefully it'll be a little stronger for exterior use, and it's pretty thick stuff. I mean, it's basically syrup. So yeah, we're gonna get started painting this, and we'll get back to you later. All right, so I just got done with the first coat. It definitely is going to need more coats. That being said, this is a $21 can of paint, and it's latex, and we're painting over other latex paint, so I wasn't expecting it to cover real well, but I think with a couple coats it'll look pretty good. It also looks a little odd with the maroon border, but that's all going to be white. I just still need to get there and do that, but I don't think it looks horrible. I guess we'll see what another coat brings and go from there. So this is after 2 rolled on coats, and then 1 brush around the places where the roller couldn't get. I'm probably gonna wind up doing 1 more coat, but I think I'm probably gonna get some white paint and get started on the white paint here. All right, so there's 3 coats of red paint, 2 coats of white. I think I'm gonna do 1 more coat of white on everything. There's gonna be a trim board on the bottom here, and then we'll get cutting on building the run. All right, we're back for day 2 of the chicken coop build. Made a couple decisions last night on where we want to go with this in regards to the actual chicken run itself. We're actually going to be getting rid of this. No more dog kennel. We're going to get a bunch of 2x4s and chicken wire, and we're going to actually build a decent, nice run where we don't have to worry about predators and stuff like that getting through this dog fence. And then we're going to do something along the base as well to kind of keep the small stuff out of there, like rabbits, squirrels, and pesky raccoons, foxes, all that stuff, because like I've said before, we literally live in the middle of the woods. So we're gonna run up to the sawmill, grab what we need, and then we will get started. Bailey, you want to go on a drive? You want to go on a drive? Oh my gosh, you want to go on a drive? Come on. You want to sit in the front? You want to sit in the front? I can guarantee you weigh enough to sit in the front. You make the seatbelt chime go off. And up. Oh, I forgot to move stuff. Oh, you think so, huh? You think so? It's our kind of small town sawmill where we're gonna get supplies today. Should probably get some of those eventually too for slab wood for the furnace, but we're going for nice wood today. Right, Bailey? So I don't know if y'all will be able to see it or not. There is 12 2x4x10s back there. Also picked up 100 feet of 48-inch tall chicken wire and a new spade to dig some holes with. We're gonna grab some food quick and we're gonna go back and we will keep going on the project. We've secured the goods. NW for the win. And I don't think Bailey is gonna complain very much about that. Is that a good French fry? Shovel that thing right down. Even the dog likes looking out the window. Still got only one ear up, but it's just pretty. All right, so I got the old kennel put over there. Someone's actually coming later and picking that up. So we're actually making money on this project because that kennel's worth more than we spent on wood and chicken wire. But the plan is I'm gonna take a 2x4 and go up probably even with the top of the window here, if not a couple inches higher on both sides, all the way over there. We have 10-foot boards and I'm a good 5'11", so almost double, not quite double what I am, but I'm not very tall, so the 10-foot boards will work perfect. Do you mind? I'm trying to video. Go play. And then we're gonna put another post out here, using a spade, dig that down, make sure it's level, make sure everything's at the same height, because there's quite a hill here. Put another one right here, and then we'll add the top part and the bottom part for some structure, and then we'll add boards from this side to there. It'll be 10 feet this way and 10 feet this way. So it's not going to be a huge run. It'll probably be about a 10 by 10, yeah, but we're not going to have a couple 2x4s, and we'll get the outside set up and we'll kind of go from there. This first board is a 10-footer. All of them are 10-footers. So I probably could have gotten away with 8-footers, but I wasn't sure how much lower it was going to be over here. We're going to go to 7 feet on this board, so it'll come up to about here. We're going to dig down just a hair to put it in there, even though it'll be screwed into the building. And then we're going to figure out how far we are from the eave to the top of that. We'll measure over there, mark it, and we'll measure from there. Probably not to the ground because these railroad ties are right here. We'll probably just go right into the top of that, and then we'll just kind of work the chicken wire around that itself. And then we'll figure out what 90 degrees is. We'll go out this way, out that way, 10 feet, because we have 10-foot boards. We'll go out 10 feet, and then we'll connect everything and basically build just a big cube. But yeah, let's get this thing cut. I'm gonna switch you over to time lapse, and I may bring you back here and there to kind of explain some stuff as we go. But I'm one person, and it's really hard to film when you're just one person. It's also kind of windy today, so I do apologize if there's some wind noise. But yeah, I'm gonna get ripping on this. I'm gonna flip you over to time lapse. Framing's done for now. That's as much as I'm gonna do right now. We're gonna see how well it holds up when I put the chicken wire on. We can always add more 2x4s. Aren't super expensive. We are somewhere in here gonna put kind of a plywood door, so if we ever need to get into the run, we don't have to crawl through where the chickens crawl out. But we'll figure that out when we get there. I got chicken wire right here in the back of my pickup. Probably gonna flip you back over to time lapse again, and we're gonna get started putting some chicken wire on. I'm gonna flip the camera around and kind of explain how we're gonna do the base of this a little bit better, but yeah, let me flip the camera around. Okay, so this is all on a hill. Like, it's pretty, I mean, just look at how this shed sits. I mean, we're on a pretty good hill, and then there's a kind of a seasonal river slash creek over here and kind of a swamp back in there. But my plan is all of these are level with 1 point. So is this, so is that, so is that. It's all level with the earth, not with the ground. So everything, all those open spaces underneath there and there. Back over there, I have a shed that's falling down, but it's got a lot of really good metal tin on it. And I'm gonna take that with some snips, and I'm gonna put metal tin along the bottom and kind of dig it into the ground a little bit so varmints and stuff can't get in there, as well as I believe that's what I'm gonna do right here. And then it'll be chicken wire over the top. I might wind up adding another post just right in here. Not 100% sure yet. I've been looking at this, and it's 48 inches tall, which is 4 feet. We're not quite 4 feet, or not quite 8 feet tall. We're like 7 feet tall in places on here. So my plan, I think the easiest way to do this is literally gonna be to like do it over the top. So start here, go up over and around, and then use a staple gun and staple it into the boards. However, I need to find my staple gun, so we're gonna start with screws, and then I'll secure it a little bit more whenever I do find it. So I think that's our plan. So I'm gonna flip you over to time lapse again, and you're probably gonna see me struggle with chicken wire. Also, tip to anybody using chicken wire, one of the perks about being in the law enforcement slash medical field is I have no shortage of trauma shears, and these things can cut through a penny, so they make easy and quick work of chicken wire. Just a free tip in there. All right, day 3. Let's get this chicken coop done. Bailey and I just got back from town picking up the last little bit of supplies we needed to finish up the chicken coop, or at least for how far we're gonna get it. In this video, we don't have the chickens yet. They come in usually in the spring. You actually order them and they like come in the mail and everything, which is kind of neat. So we're gonna get chickens next spring, but I wanted to get a good jump on this project. So basically everything we have left that we're gonna do this time is we're gonna get the opening put into the actual chicken run itself, where the door is gonna go. Get the rest of it chicken wired in. I picked up a hammer tacker today because my other staple gun, the back part, is gone. Brooks must have been playing with it or something. So I upgraded a little bit. I got a little nicer one. And then more chicken wire to finish it, obviously, right now. But this thing will be about 95% the way done by the end of this video. I also cut the hole off camera yesterday as well. I had some people here doing some quotes on some epoxy for our basement, and didn't want to make them feel weird by recording it, but still wanted to keep working on this. So I cut a nice square in there, and then this is just a piece, it's extra deck board off the new addition to the deck that they can walk up and down with. Those pieces right there are gonna basically, one of them's gonna go from this baseboard up to the top, and then we'll cut it off about halfway, or about 3/4 of the way up. And then there'll be a little door that I have to build with a hinge and everything right in this corner. So if we ever need to get to the outside of the run, we can still get out there, and then we'll chicken wire the top and chicken wire all of this as well. So I'm gonna flip you over to time lapse, and we'll keep going with this. Right, Bailey? So I somehow managed to mismeasure for the second time during this project and am short on chicken wire by about 10 inches. So we're probably just gonna call it quits here at this point, and I will just finish this off camera. Plus I got a staple through the finger, so that's wonderful. But yeah, this is the project we did so far. We got everything framed. We got about 95% of the wire on. I have to build a door for the walk-in right here that goes that way. And then obviously get some chicken nests and other chicken accessories, but that'll all come next spring when we get chickens. And then I have to do the base with the metal still. But we're gonna cut this video off here. Maybe I'll make another video finishing, depending how well this video actually does. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.